Well, hello everyone, it's me, Jemmuel. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'm here joined with my dear friend, guitar tech, and an amazing buddy of mine, Lucas La Spina. Lucas is a fellow guitar player, guitar tech, and we have had the amazing opportunity to play one of the first ever Gretsch Nigel Hendroff signature penguins. This one is in the metallic cherry, and we have been playing it right now for the last, how many weeks?
3 weeks.
Last 3 weeks,
Yep.
Me a little bit longer. We have done a lot of experiments, which we'll get to, but I guess we'll chat about the guitar, and we'll give our honest thoughts of what we thought about these Nigel Hendroff penguins. First of all, let's talk about the body and the paint. This comes in two colors. We've played with both, but this one is the metallic cherry. Lucas, what do you think about the color of the metallic cherry?
I'm a sparkle guy, and I love to see wood grain. So to be able to see wood grain through the finish of this guitar and sparkle at the same time, I absolutely love it. It's a great choice by Nigel, actually.
It is a really, really great choice, and also the maple body and the the mahogany body and the maple top, the flame maple top, such a really nice and classy touch. Also, what do you think of the weight? It's not a heavy guitar, is it?
It's beautiful. As I was mentioning before, I sold 2 of my Les Pauls. Please, no one throw anything at the screen right now. Purely for the fact that they were so heavy, and I ended up buying a high-end Epiphone and modded that just to have a really nice Les Paul. But after playing this, it's super light, yet it's sturdy. You can feel like it's well built, but it's been chambered, obviously, because that's why it's light.
Yeah, and we played other penguins as well, like
That's
other
right.
Gretsch penguins. A lot of them are actually a bit more weighty than this.
Yes.
And this is actually a bit more sturdy and a little more stable.
Yeah.
But lighter for some reason.
It feels lighter. It still feels sturdy. It still feels not as hollow as what you expect a chambered guitar to be, but it's just, I don't know, just really well built, sturdy. It resonates really well, which is the main thing.
Yeah.
Like even just, it's not plugged in and it's just resonates.
It resonates, like seriously, acoustically, it's just nice and loud. And it's also got this really awesome satin neck. Like, when do you ever see a Gretsch with a satin neck? Like,
very, very, I don't think I've ever.
I think this is the very first
time,
Gretsch
yeah.
I've played with a satin neck. The neck profile is really, really comfortable. When I played this guitar, it really felt like I was just playing like another one of my own guitars. Like, either it feels like a broken in Les Paul, or yeah. What did you think of the neck profile of this guitar?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It just feels like an old pair of torn blue jeans, not to quote Bon Jovi too much, but it just feels comfortable. It feels like one of your old guitars. It just feels, you feel at home with it. You don't have to work to play it. It's just easy to play.
Yeah,
Easy to play.
I really love the way the radius of the fretboard, and the inlays on this is really, really nice too.
They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It's super duper comfortable neck, like we mentioned. Like, even lowering the action on this guitar, it's just really, really nice to play.
Super fast.
It's super fast. Like, you can shred.
neck.
You can actually shred on this penguin. Not a lot of like vintage style Gretches have this type of like modern type build of the neck.
That's right.
You can even reach the higher frets really easily.
Yes.
Yeah, like this. Think of this as just like the player's edition of a penguin. Like, a lot of modern features on it. And speaking of the neck, I'll zoom in close into this, but the neck's got some sparkle on it as well, which is a really, really nice detail.
It's beautiful.
And on this neck, it's got the tortoiseshell binding on the sides of it. Really, really cool. And as we go up to the headstock, let's talk about these Grover locking tuners.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Very easy to use.
Very easy to put strings on, very easy to use. They really hold this tuning really well, nice and stable with these tunings. And it's nice and smooth when you tune the gear heads.
Very smooth. You don't have to over tighten them. You don't have to over tighten the string. As soon as you hit rock bottom, you just leave it there. You know, sit there tightening and tightening. Yeah, but going by what you were saying before about shredding, the pickups are amazing on this.
Yeah, let's get to the electronics of this guitar. Man, these Broadtron BT65A pickups, they really have that hybrid of the chime of a Tron style pickup and the punch of a PAF style pickup. We were actually talking about this not too long ago, that it kind of reminds us like a TB Jones Powertron. But it's a little more warmer and darker, but it still has a lot of dynamic range. One of the things that we've got to one of the things to look out for when you get one of these guitars, or if you already own one, we highly suggest you adjust the height of the pickups.
100%.
What do you reckon?
They're super bitey, but it gives you the playability to play anything from country to classic rock to, if someone wants to be crazy enough and play heavy metal on Nigel's guitar, as Jem will do, it's bitey enough, and that bottom end, like we were playing in this auditorium before, and the bottom end just shakes the actual windows.
With the pickups really high, man, you got to be watchful, especially that neck pickup. It will, the bottom end will rattle the place, and you don't want that low and bottom flubbiness to overpower your sound. So make sure to experiment and drop it low, because when you do, it's really nice and balanced. That's when you'll hear the chime, but still retain that clarity and punch that you get with an awesome humbucker style pickup. Last night we were actually at the Colour Conference rehearsal with Nige. Gave him the amber one after playing it for a few weeks now and tweaking it and doing the adjustments we've done. And he played it last night and it sounds absolutely fantastic. With the pickups and the way it feels, and because of the experiments, his face just lit up.
His face lit up. We had some nice messages to wake up to this morning. Last night he wasn't just playing worship; he was also fiddling around, playing some country stuff. He was playing some jazz. He was playing even some Latin stuff. I heard some Latin fusion there, some rock stuff, and my goodness, I can't speak any more highly of these pickups. They are so versatile. That's why Jem was saying before to make sure that you adjust the height to where it suits you, because it depends on your style of playing, how hard you hit, and also, again, your style of music that you normally play 80-90% of the time, you want to set them to that height so it complements your playing. But they're absolutely amazing. They're just so sharp, so bitey, so twangy if you want it to be twangy. Like it's
it really represents Nige as a guitar player, and even us as guitar players of our own style. This guitar actually has a transparency to bring out whatever style that you play really, really well. It's not just like a typical Gretsch where it can be rock and roll or it can be country or the typical praise and worship thing. This Gretsch can do it all.
That's it.
And let's talk about the details of this thing. How do you find the knobs and the pots? The pots on these are really great.
The pots are unbelievable, and I like how when you get to full, it sort of like, it just clicks.
Because this has a treble bleed circuit too.
Yep. So when you wind the back, for those that don't know, when you wind the back with treble bleed circuits, you don't lose your high ends. It doesn't get muddy. And it's beautiful. As Jem was saying, the controls are very simple. You don't have 3 or 4 here. You just have your volume here, which is easy to reach to when you're with your whammy. Would you call it whammy or arm?
Oh, anything, yeah.
Because everyone calls it something different. I'll call it the barbado arm or the whammy bar. So it's right there. It's easy. If you need to adjust your tone, it's out of the way. You're not gonna be bumping into it. And that also has a nice little click.
Yeah, so the tone knob over here has a click when it goes to 100%.
So even if you bump it, it's not gonna go out of place. So it's always you're a fool.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful, really. Just to play the very smooth.
Nice and smooth.
There's no scratchiness to it.
Yeah, and then even the taper, the sweep range of the volume is great. I own a Duesenberg style plate TV, and this has an even more broader volume taper compared to it. So that's an awesome circuit that Gretsch threw into the volume and tones. And just the fact that we have a Gretsch now with a volume and tone, just 2 knobs, that's more than anyone could ever ask for. My dream Gretsch has always been a Penguin with a Bigsby and a volume and tone, and here it is.
Here we go.
Here we go. Thank you, Nigel.
Dreams do come true. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you, Gretsch.
Nigel. Thank you, Gretsch. And I guess the last detail that we can talk about this guitar, and we'll explain what the experiments we've done to Nigel's guitars and how we've improved it. And by the time you're watching this video, it's August right now, but we are filming this in March of 2022. The Bigsby and the bridge of this guitar. First of all, how awesome is it that there is a string through Bigsby?
Oh, praise the Lord. About time.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a Penguin with a string through Bigsby, and yet alone a B7 Bigsby, which is a really cool touch. Usually Penguins with a Bigsby come with the traditional thing and the ebony pin bridge.
That's right.
And a rock bar,
Yep.
rather than like an intonated tunomatic. But we have 2 versions of this Penguin right now in our hands. Right now I'm holding this prototype version, which is prototype version 1. As you can see over here, the signature is on the pickup, and then over here is V2, where the signature is on the headstock. Now, version 1, for some reason, the tuning holds its place much better
Yep.
than a version 2. Like version 2 when it came out stock, same specs, right? Same Goto tunomatic bridge. But for some reason, for the version 2, both the amber and the cherry red, they could not hold the tuning to save their life.
That's right. We think it could be a number of things, but we came to the conclusion that to put the icing on the cake, as they say, or the cherry on top.
Because really, there's nothing wrong with this guitar.
Nothing.
To be honest, and we're not saying this just for advertisement's sake, even though we're not really advertising anything, or just because we're good friends with Nigel. We're being honest. We're giving our honest thoughts.
Yep.
Really, there had to be nothing wrong with this guitar,
No.
but this is the problem we ran into.
We're all about making things a little bit more efficient, and what we wanted to do, what we wanted to see, mainly for Nigel and even for us when we have to play him live, is more tuning stability.
Because this version 2, it couldn't hold its tuning to save its life. I'll put some clips right now. Like, it'll go out of tuning like within the first few strums.
We thought, okay, let's put it on the bench. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what the differences are.
So the few experiments we did was the first speculation that Lucas had was it has to be something with the bridge, the tunomatic itself, because when you would move the Bigsby, the tunomatic would rock back and forth on this one.
Yes, yeah, the bridge would just be going like that, and straight away you think, okay, if the bridge keeps on moving like that, you're going to end up cracking your top, the finish. And also it's gripping on something, so it never returns the string back to where it should be. So first thing we did was
change the roller bridge. The first thing we did was change out the tunomatic into a roller bridge, a tunomatic roller bridge.
And then from there we saw that it improved the tuning 80% minimum. It also really highlighted how good these machine heads are, these tuners are. Depends where you are in the world, what you want to call them. These tuners really highlighted how beautiful and sweet and precise they are once we had the roller bridge in there, because it just allowed the string to glide over the bridge instead of being retained or dragged or held back.
Because even when tuning the string with a stock Goto, it wouldn't like budge. You would really have to force put force into the tuners in order for it to like go up or down in pitch.
That's right.
And then you couldn't really micro change anything.
Fine-tune,
you couldn't fine tune things.
Yeah, and that carried all the way down to the whammy bar.
Just the vibrato action of it. Right now, this version 1 still has the stock Godo on it.
Yep.
This version 2 has the Tune-o-matic roller. And just by moving the arm, you can already tell that this has more gliding. It's easier to push up and down compared to this one.
Yeah.
This is a little more, you had to put more force into it.
More precise, like just by doing that, you get a nice vibrato where on one like that, you have to
you really got to give it a push.
Yeah, and that itself sometimes sends them out of tune because it also doesn't bring the string back to.
So once Lucas changed into the roller bridge, I then played it live, and it definitely made a difference. I could play a set well with it. The only string that was really going out of tune was the G string. And instead of it going flat, now it was going sharp, because usually with the Tune-o-matic, everything would just go straight flat.
Yep.
But now it was going sharp, so that was a good indication. So then our next experiment that we did was, okay, what if we kept the same stock Godo Tune-o-matic bridge and just raised it up with, we raised up the, you want to show them? Yeah.
So basically, we put 2 washers, one there and one there, just underneath the screws, just to raise
the brake angle. Yeah, the brake angle of the Bigsby. Because one of the people from Gretsch, Nigel actually messaged one of the people from Gretsch and say, what do you think is the cause of this tuning? And one of them said that, well, even a guitar tech friend of mine from Nashville even said that usually Bigsby's, the things that puts them out of tune a lot as well is the brake angle. So the brake angle of this crossbar was pushing the strings down so low. So one of the things that we tried doing is like, okay, what if we tried raising up the Bigsby so that we can lift the brake angle but keep the same Tune-o-matic bridge on? And we tried that. I tried that with Nigel in the room with the amber one. I put 2 rubber washers stacked on top of each other on each side, and it still went out of tune like crazy. And then we decided to try it with nylon washers, and it had the same raised heights with just one nylon washer on each side compared to the 2 rubbers. What did we find with that?
It got a little bit better, just a tiny bit better, but we kept on finding and going back to the roller bridge. The roller bridge pretty much eliminates any friction. Very little friction. If you got with a Tune-o-matic bridge that doesn't move, you have say 80 to 90% friction. With a roller bridge, you reduce it down to 15 to 20%, if that. So friction being friction, if you can reduce it, it will allow things to go back to where they should be, and to go back to where it should be in tune.
Yep. So that was the final experiment, was raising the Bigsby with a nylon washer and putting the roller bridge in. That pretty much kept the guitar in tune.
In Nigel's words, I think it's a different guitar. When we handed it to him on stage, it was like, he just went like that and he goes, it's a different guitar. It's staying in tune. His face lit up. It was really cool. But like Jem said before, there was nothing wrong with this guitar.
Nothing, seriously. This is like a dream Gretsch, a custom shop Gretsch pretty much.
And we are in development. Right now, I know you guys are probably watching this in August, September, whenever this guitar is actually coming out. But right now, we're in development stage.
Yeah.
So in development stage, that's when you nut out all the little quirks and the fine tuning. So that's what we want to make very clear in this video, that there is nothing wrong with this guitar.
Absolutely nothing.
We are right now, as we speak, we're in development stage with Nigel, with the guys from Gretsch, and we're just helping out. So by the time you guys get the final version of this, it'll be Mickey Mouse, as they say.
Yeah, and I guess the final thing I wanted to touch on about this guitar is just the modern build of this Penguin. One of the awesome things about this Penguin is it doesn't have any like neck gaps. The neck, if you can see there, there's nothing like, you've got proper pickup covers. It's built like how a modern guitar should be, and like everything I've wanted in like a modern type Gretsch, like this is it in a Penguin form.
Love it. I love how comfortable the banjo armrest
Yeah.
is just
Very comfortable.
super comfortable. Like it literally, like when I play a Strat or even my Les Paul, it hitting your arm here, it actually hurts. But this simple banjo armrest is just absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. I want to put it on my other Gretsch.
Yeah. Needless to say, there is nothing wrong we can say about these Nigel Hendroff signature Gretches. These are absolutely phenomenal. And if you can find one at your local dealer, and if you're looking to purchase a Gretsch Nigel Hendroff signature Penguin, highly recommend go get it, because these are absolutely fantastic.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, that's all we have to say about our thoughts on these guitars. And I guess we'll see you guys next time, and let's jam it out.
Let's jam it out.